Hello children, and welcome to our third RE community session. My name is Mrs. Smith and I've been taking you through our little community journey using our religious education, knowledge and skills. Now I wonder, thinking back to session 2, whether you've been able to have a chat to the people at home about things that you value and what makes you a unique community together. I wonder whether you've considered those values. Now, I've thought about mine and I've really thought about that word joy. I think happiness is such a key thing in my little communities that I have, and in the relationship and the community that I build with my husband. I think joy is such a big one. I wonder what you would consider. Definitely something to still talk to your adults in the home about. Now, today we are going to be continuing exploring communities, and in particular, we're going to be thinking about some symbols that really show that this is what a community stands for. So let me just share with you what you need today on the screen. So we're looking at symbols of community, and here is what you will be needing today. So 3 pieces of paper today, again, lined or plain, doesn't matter. At least 1 pen or pencil, and again, if you've got colours, then great. Why don't you pause the video here and go and collect those things you need. Great, fantastic. Right, we're going to start our session today by playing a game. It's called the odd one out. I'm going to show you 3 objects. Let me just come off the screen share there. I'm going to show you 3 objects. And I want you to look at them closely. So here are my 3 objects I'm going to show you. Here we've got a school jumper. That is our Bishop Audham's jumper. So for those from Bishop Audham's watching, that is our school uniform. Now that shows that you are part of the Bishop Audham's community. So that's our first object. The next object I'm going to show you is a Sikh kirpan. It's a little sword or little dagger that you might see, and Sikhs have this to show that they are a Sikh and that they belong to the Sikh religion. Okay, so that's the third item. Sorry, the second item. Now the third item, I've got a cross on a chain here. So I've got a cross on a chain. And again, this would show Christians that they are part of the Christian community. So 3 objects there that you can see. All are symbols of some form of a community. Now, what I want you to do is have a quick go at drawing them. It doesn't have to be immaculate. They do not have to be the best artwork ever. And I would like you to see if you can get one of your pieces of paper and fold your piece of paper into 3 sections. Or you can use a ruler or just draw the lines. So if you can fold it into 3, here we go. See how roughly I'm doing it? Really important that we keep hold of these bits of paper that we do throughout our journey. Here we go. I've got 3 spaces here. And I would like it if you could just have a go at drawing each of the objects in this box. I'm going to show you the pictures just so that you can remind yourself of what you are drawing. So if I can just go to share screen again. Here we go. So have a go at drawing those nice and quickly, small drawings on your piece of paper now that you've split it into 3. Pause the video here to do your drawings. Fantastic. Your drawings are looking great. Now, I wonder, have you seen them before? Have you seen these 3 objects before? I have a feeling you might have seen a school uniform or a school jumper before. And I wonder, what makes them unique? What do you know about them? What makes them special? What do you know about the cross on a chain or a Sikh kirpan? What do you know about what a school jumper stands for? Why might we be looking at these as part of our RE communities learning? That's a really important question. How are they similar? How are they different? Think back to our very first session when we were drawing our pictures of ourselves, thinking about similarities and differences there. It's important to understand that these objects are all symbols belonging to a specific community group. I wonder, why don't you jot down what you think about each object underneath each of your drawings, particularly about what you think makes them similar and what makes them different. Pause the video here to just jot down a few words. Well done. Right, now I want you to choose one that you think is the odd one out and say why. Now, the why is really, really important in RE. Here's a couple of sentence starters for you. Just going to move my screen out of the way again. So, I think the, and then choose one of the objects, and then write, is the odd one out because, and then just write down why you think it is the odd one out. There's no right or wrong answer. There is nothing that you can do that is going to make this wrong. Okay, so make sure you are putting your thinking caps on, using your knowledge of the similarities and differences, and just have a go. What one do you think is the odd one out? Pause the video here to have a go at writing your sentence. Fantastic. I wonder whether you've chosen the same object as someone else who's watching these videos. That would be really good if you have. Or if you haven't, it doesn't even matter either way. Now, here are some choices and some thoughts of some other children who've taken part in this activity before. This is what they felt about the odd one out. So I've got one in a pink speech bubble up there saying that the jumper is the odd one out because only pupils can belong to this group, but you can be a Sikh or a Christian, whether you're grown up or a child. That's really important to consider that. I wonder whether you've considered that. We've also got a purple one there. The jumper is the odd one out because it's the only one that's actual clothing. So the other bits were more like accessories, weren't they? Then I've got the kirpan here. The kirpan is the odd one out because it's the only one people don't have at school. So that's quite an interesting thing, isn't it? You wouldn't be allowed that in school. And you've also got another thought there saying the kirpan is the odd one out because it's the only one that can be dangerous. You might have considered that. You might have said the cross is the odd one out because you wear it around your neck. The others go on your body. The kirpan is often positioned down by your waist if you're a Sikh. So that's an interesting thing to think about the cross. You may have just said that these two are symbols of a Christian group, whereas the jumper is the odd one out because the school uniform is not of a religious group, does not represent a religious community. That's something that I would consider when writing my sentence. Now, I wonder, if all three items were in one group, what would that group be called? And why do you think it? Some thinking time. So if all three items were in one group, what would you label that group? Now, one class that I've taught before had suggested that all these three items could go into one group, which showed that they were just symbols of a special community, which I think is a really nice way of displaying it. You just move my thing up so you can see the jumper. Now, and what do you think? Do you agree with that? Do you think the label symbols of special communities could be a really good one? What other symbols could you think of that would fit into this group? Symbols of a special community. I really would appreciate it if you could pause the video here and just spend a few moments just jotting down some other ideas of symbols that you know of that could go into under this label of symbols of special communities. Have a go. Pause the video now. Well done, everyone. I am sure you have thought about lots and lots of prompts. I'm just gonna stop sharing that. I'm sure you have thought about lots of different symbols that would come under that label of special communities. I wonder what you would think as a special community and what would be a special symbol for you. Now I would like you to think about and create your own special symbol that you would put as your own special community. Think about something that you belong to. Think about a community that you are part of. It could be a club, it could be a group that you attend. To give you an idea, I attend a choir called Rock Choir. They've got lots of choirs up and down the country now, and back when I first started, one of the first things that they told us that it would be really good if everyone could wear a special Rock Choir t-shirt. I haven't got my actual t-shirt with me, but this is the kind of t-shirt that we all would wear whenever we would do big singing events, and we'd all stand there and we would all feel so united and part of the same community because we were all wearing that t-shirt. Have a go. Pause the video here and have a go at drawing your own symbol for your special community. You could do it as a t-shirt. It might be a cap. It might be a special jacket. It might be a special badge, a special logo. Have a go at drawing that now. Fantastic. These objects and reasons for why they are so important to you are really good. If you haven't done so already, think about the importance of those symbols. See if you can jot down a sentence about why that symbol is so important to you. So for me, my Rock Choir t-shirt, bring it back, that was so important to me because it was our uniform and we all looked united and we were singing together and therefore we looked together. We were uniform. It's a very good word. Have a go at writing a sentence now under your symbol. Why is that so important to you in your special community? Pause the video here to write. Brilliant. Now, I've got some information to share now. Did you know that the word community, which we're focusing on so much, comes from the old French word communauté, which comes from the Latin communitas, which means public spirit in Latin. Who knew? It's also like the word community. I also like how the word community has another word within it. It's got the word unity in it. Now, for those of you at Bishop Auldham's, that's a very special word for us at Bishop Auldham's. It's one of our values, unity, meaning working together, working as a team. And when people live in unity, it means that they are joined and united. People living in community have the opportunity to gain lots from being part of that community. Think back to our first session when we're thinking about what can we benefit from, as well as they can give lots to that community through helping others, through showing kindness, through valuing others, through showing respect. I now want you to think about the groups that you belong to. For example, your school, a special sports team, the Brownies, the Beavers, or your Cubs if you're there yet. Maybe it's a religious group, so a church, or you're part of a mosque that you go to. I'm just going to share a couple of prompts with you on the screen. And I would love it if you can think about the things that you gain from being part of that group and the things that you give from being part of that group. So I'm just going to move the video down here. So think about the communities that people in your area belong to, and think about the ones that you belong to first of all. And I would like you on another piece of paper to list all of the different groups and communities, groups, religious, non-religious, sports teams and things like that that are going on in your communities right now. Start with the ones that you're part of and then start thinking, oh, there's that group, there's that group. Maybe speak to the adults who are in your home with you at the moment. Maybe they've got some ideas of lots of different community groups that are taking place. Have a go, jot down those ideas, see if you can come up with at least 5. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that, so pause the video here now. Now, well done. I'm sure you've thought of so many different community groups. Now, what's even more special about those is what I've started thinking about before we did that activity. Things that you can gain. So what do you receive from being part of one of those communities, and what do you give from being part of that? So if I think about my rock choir situation, what things did I gain from being part of that community? Well, I gained friendship, I gained laughter, I gained experiences, did some TV shows, did some concerts. I gained a chance to use my voice in such an exciting way. The things I had to give, though, to be part of that community, I had to give my time, I had to give my energy, I had to give my voice because it was singing, I had to give my own friendship if I was going to receive that friendship back. So here's a challenge for you. Focus on one of those communities that you are part of. And I want you to write 3 things that you gain from being part of that community. And then after that, I want you to write 3 things that you give to be a member of that community. Pause the video here. 3 things to gain, 3 things that you give. Well done, everyone. Here's a question that I don't necessarily want you to answer straight away. I'm just going to come off screen share so you can see me. I wonder, can you be part of a community and only give? Does that work if you're only giving? On the other hand, here's another question. I wonder, can you be part of a community and only receive, so only gain? Just ponder on those couple of questions. Now, we're coming to the end of our lesson today. It's been really, really interesting chatting to you about different symbols that we might come across in our different communities that we're part of, and how important they are. Now, I want you to look back at your symbols of belonging, the list that you made, the different symbols that show that you belong. And why not show that list to the adults that you are in the house with? Maybe show them and talk to them about what these symbols mean to them. Now, in our next session, we are going to be thinking a little bit more about Christianity and what Christians do in order to live in community with one another. It's been a pleasure chatting to you today. Hopefully I've given you some food for thought, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next session. But for now, have a great day. Bye.